Hey everyone, welcome back to another redstone tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to build a hostile mob spawner which you can use in your world just in case you want to get a whole bunch of items from creepers, zombies, skeletons, witches, and etc. But anyways, before I start the tutorial, let me just real quick show you how the mob spawner works and what it looks like. Now this farm could also be used as an XP farm if on the bottom over here at the platforms you just add some water and the mobs will slowly fall in the water over here and not take any damage. Then you just gotta build up the walls over there, and then if you want, make a little small chamber just like that, and then you can AFK down there and then hit the mobs and then you get the XP from the farm. And here is the mob spawner that you could build in your world, and I'll be calling it the iron box only because I built it out of iron blocks, but you can build it out of whatever blocks you want. But real quick, let me show you how it works. So if I go into the farm right over here, you can see at the top that there are pistons holding back some water sources over there, and after a certain amount of times, the pistons will go up, the water will come down on these pads over here, just like that. Then after a certain amount of time, the floor will open up over there, just in the back, then the water will come down over here, and same thing for the bottom level, and all the mobs are going to get flushed out over here to the ground right there. Now, I'm actually in a void world right now, so mobs won't spawn, but there'll be a world download if you want to build this exact design over here and don't want to follow the tutorial. Now, to set up your AFK spot for the mob spawner, what you want to do is go up 40 blocks from this mob spawner over here, just so you're not loading this up on the bottom of the ground over there. And if you want, for the small spawner, it's recommended to build it as high as possible in the sky so you don't load all the caves and all the other stuff on the ground, so you'll get a whole bunch of mobs spawning in your spawner. And just another quick thing to mention over here, you'll need a whole bunch of comparators, redstone repeaters, and pistons, sticky pistons, so be prepared for that. And like I said before, you can build out of iron blocks or whatever blocks you want. I just find iron blocks look perfect for the mob spawner, but you can see it uses a lot of redstone on the side and pistons, so be prepared for that. And anyways, now let's get started with the tutorial. So the first thing that you should do for the mob spawner is to build up the hopper collection area, because once the mob spawner gets going, it gets going. And what we have to do is fill out a 5 by 17 area of hoppers and then connect them all to chests in the front. So what I like doing is alternating between trapped and normal chests, but I suggest you make a bigger storage area only because this generates a lot of items. So over here, like I said before, we have to make a 5 by 17, and the 5 is going this way. And then we have to go 17 long, just like this. And then once you get to 17 over here, you just gotta fill all the other hoppers up just like that. And I recommend you go like this in front of the other hopper just like that, only because if you put it all into one hopper, your system will most likely get backed up. But that's what you gotta do for the storage area, and that's about it. Now once you finish filling out this area with all the hoppers around it, I suggest you place glowstone just to light up the bottom area over here so that mobs cannot spawn on these hoppers, and you don't have to worry about that just in case you want to AFK around your area. Now, you notice over there before that it's a smaller area than the 17 by 5 area, but the reason why we do the 17 by 5 area is because some mobs items might land over here and might land over there, so just in case we do that. Now once you have completely filled out the area over here, we can move on to the next step. So the killing chamber for the mob spawner is actually only going to be 3 by 15 blocks long. So right now I'm just putting purple blocks over here, but you can put any blocks just because they're going to be temporary, just to mark out where the killing chamber is going to be. Now on this front block over here, what you want to do is go up 35 to 40 blocks. That is the amount of distance that the mobs have to travel down to die. I like to go 35 to 40 only because mobs usually die after 23, but witches I believe are 27 blocks, and some mobs might have feather falling, so just in case I go up a whole bunch of blocks to make sure that they all die in the spawner. Perfect, so right now I've gone up 35 blocks, and this is the height that I'm going to start building mob spawner at. And what I like to do is just get these 3 blocks over here, only because this is the distance between that mob spawner and that mob spawner. But what I'll be doing in this tutorial is just building half of the mob spawner because it's the exact same thing on the other side. So once you've built out half of it, you can build the other side easily, no problem. Now the next part that we will be building is the floors for the mob spawner. So over here on this block, you want to make sure you're 3 blocks away in between the 3 by 15 area and then start the floor there. And you have to do a 8 going this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and then 15 blocks going this way to start the first floor off. There we go. And that's done. That's the first floor done. And then next thing I like doing is putting a purple concrete or any other block just around the outside, just to let me know that this is the floor. And plus we're going to build up a wall after, so it's just another cool way, or not really cool way, easy way you can see which one is your floor from far away, and it helps you build up the wall after too. So I always add it in after just for fun. So a couple more blocks over here, and then we can start building up the wall. Perfect. So now to build up the wall, you just have to go 2 blocks high with any other block just like that. Build out the wall like this. The first floor is very simple only because it is the bottom platform and you don't really need to do much to it. And then after that, these next floors get a little bit complicated. Once you do 1 or 2 floors, it becomes really easy to do the rest. Now once you have finished building up the walls too high, it's time to put in the first set of sticky pistons. And actually in the corners, I place purple blocks just like that, just so it's not just a giant iron box. So to place the sticky pistons, you need to place a block right there, another block there, and then along this block you have to place 15 sticky pistons just going this way. So pretty much each floor is going to have 50 sticky pistons on it, and then the top floor just has 10 regular pistons. So once you have placed the 15 pistons, I believe that's 15, on top of them you just have to place a block just like that, all along the pistons, and then on top of these you just have to place redstone going up just like that. Make sure it's on all the blocks there, and then break this extra block over here because you don't really need it. And that's almost the floor done. The last thing you have to do is just place another block in front of it here, just like that. And this is going to be the block that gets retracted so the water can go down to all the floors. Now building the rest of the floors is actually pretty simple. What you can do right now is just on top of these redstone dust, place the sticky pistons like that, and repeat the same process over and over again until you have the amount of floors that you want, just because this is the right setup for it. So I can do this over and over and over again until I get to all the floors I want, but when I'm done, I'll continue the rest. Now before you move on to the next step, you just want to make sure that your setup is done properly. So the piston is facing that way with a block in front of it, and then on top of it you have redstone on a block there. And you've gone up as many floors as you want. Now next thing you can do over here is just fill out this wall over here with blocks, blocking off all that redstone over there. And you do the same thing for every floor, and you should see that the pattern is 2 blocks and then your moving block, 2 blocks and your moving block, so you want to make sure you have that. Also, for the next thing you have to do is just fill out the rest of the floors, so your floors are going to be at level where these blocks are over here. So you just have to fill out the floors like that, and it actually makes the roof as well, so that will cover up all the mobs to get the mob spawner dark, and then your mobs should start spawning soon once you've filled out the whole area. And also on the side you can just add another trimming just so all the blocks are not iron blocks, but if you want to use iron blocks for the entire build you can, it's up to you, but I like doing this just because it adds a little color to the build just so it's not a giant block in the sky. Another note to remember that each floor is the exact same, so what you want to do after you fill out your floor like that, you place your purple trimming on the side or whatever blocks you want, and then you go up 2 blocks for the wall, and then you repeat the same process over and over again. So once you have built one floor, it's pretty simple to build the rest of them, but it's just very tedious. So once you have finished doing that, we can get on with the next part of the tutorial. Once you get to your top floor, the next step is just adding in the water and the pistons that hold back the water. So to add in the pistons, what we want to do is come to this block over here, and then you have to add the pistons facing downward like this. So they're on the floor right over here, that is the top floor, and at the second block over there. Just in case you're wondering, it is 7 blocks from the edge, you add it, and then you make a little line of pistons going across like that. You're going to need 15 of them, not 10 like I mentioned earlier. I don't know why I said 10. I guess I just said 10 for fun. But when you make the full line of that, you want to do the same thing you did with these pistons over here. Place a block on top of it like that. And then have redstone dust on this block over here. And you are done for those pistons there. Now to add in the water, you just want to place a temporary torch on the top sticky pistons over here. And that should close the area like that. And then you place the water in just like that, all along over here. And you should see that it goes to the edge just right over there. If it doesn't go to the edge like that, then you have miscalculated the blocks, and most likely you have to either add a row of blocks or take off a row of blocks, but you should be fine. And once you have done that, you can break the torch over here. The water's going to go all the way down to the bottom, but that's fine. It's not needed for the next step. But anyways, let's move on to step number 7. Now we need to get out all the repeaters and comparators and redstone dust to finish the redstone part of this build. So over here in the middle, what you want to do is go out 3 blocks just like that, and that should be the same length of your falling chamber over here, and then fill that out with blocks over here until you get to the end. A lot of it is tedious, but once you get to this part here, you just have to put redstone down and then your mob spawner will be all done. I think I'm almost there. Yep, almost there. And perfect. And once that tedious block placing is done, then you can put in all your comparators. Now over here in line with the last blocks over there, in the middle you just want to place a block down over there, then have all your comparators going into that block over here. And then you have to leave a little bit of space on the side over here for redstone dust and a sticky piston. Actually a redstone torch. So over here you need to place a block there, a redstone torch over here, and then over here is where your dust goes. Perfect, and then you want to do the same thing on the other side with dust over there, and then a whole bunch of comparators going this way, and you have set up your extender clock. Perfect. Now at the top over here, what you have to do is place redstone dust on this block here, and then a repeater going this way, and a repeater going that way. That is for the second part of the build, but for now we're just going to be doing this part over here. Now over here, you just have to place redstone dust until you get to this block over here, and then you want to place a repeater right there, and then a block in front of it there. And that's going to power all the pistons to make sure that the water stops flowing down. So we just have 2 more steps left, and then we're done half of the mob spawner over here. Now where you have this redstone dust next to that repeater there, you want to place 2 repeaters going that way and set them at the full setting. And then over here in front of this repeater, you want to place a block down and a block up like that. And actually you don't need that block over there, you can just break it. And then you want to place another repeater over here at the full tick setting, another block in front of that one over there, and a block under it over here, a piece of redstone dust there, and then another block over here on the edge, and another repeater at a full tick setting. Now this is going to be the timing for the pistons opening up. So we're pretty much going to just chain down redstone at a long signal delay so the pistons open up slowly and slowly and slowly. So to do that, what we do is go down over here, and you go out 3 blocks this way, so 1, 2, 3, and then down 3 blocks like this, and then across like that. And then do the same setup over here by having another block there and a block up like that with redstone dust on it like that there. What I like doing is this over here because it gives a little butterfly design over there, but you can chain the redstone down however you want as long as you have at least 5 repeaters set at the full tick setting. Now to make sure you have all repeaters going down, over here we have the block of dust over there. You want to place a repeater at the full tick setting and then redstone dust on these blocks there. And then down over here you place repeaters 1, 2, 3. All at the full tick setting, and then one more block over here with another repeater there, full tick setting, and that's one of the things done. And you have to make sure you have the repeaters on all these blocks over there. So if you want, you can just add a repeater and a block up like that just all the time, just to make sure you have your block there. But once you do this a few more times, you are done your mob spawner, and the last thing to do is just hook up the resetting mechanism over there. So like I had mentioned before, you can set up this way however you want as long as you have at least 5 repeaters set at the full setting over there. What I did is I did the butterfly wing going that way just so it looks a little bit symmetrical, and if you want it actually looks like a flying creature if you put in the right blocks. But anyways, let's set up the last part of the system. So at the last little sticky piston setup that you have over here you have to place a block down over there with the repeater set to the full tick setting, and then in front of that another block there. And over here, another repeater set to full tick setting, and then a couple more blocks going this way, and then you want to line it up with this block over here. So depending on how high you want to go, you can just go out to over here, and then build a redstone torch tower to the top over there. So you go over here, and then you place a couple more repeaters that way, or just redstone dust, it depends what you want. It's all about resetting the system how fast. So if you want the system to reset really fast, then you can put it just 1 ticks, but if you want it to take a long time, you can set them to the 4 ticks setting. Now over here, you place your redstone dust there. You want to line it up over here, then place a redstone torch on this block over here, and make sure the dust goes into that block there. Then you build up your torch tower like this, with a redstone torch like there, and a block, and a redstone torch like there, and a block, and a redstone torch like there, and then a block over here. And instead of putting a redstone torch, you just want to put dust over here, and now your system is ready to go. And you'll see that after a while that this delay clock over here is going to lose its signal, and slowly the pistons are going to open up, and then the water is going to flow out to flush out all the mobs. Now for the other side, you want to do the exact same thing over there, and you actually don't need to set up the resetting system over here. So this bottom part, you can just put blocks if you want it to be the same thing on both sides, or you can just keep it blank because you don't need this for both sides, only this side here. So you can see that all the comparators are off now, and the water is slowly flowing down like that. And then when it gets to the bottom setting over here, the redstone torch tower is going to then turn on the delay clock over here, and all the water is going to stop because the pistons are going to go back down. And this is actually your mob spawner all done. Now the next thing you have to do is just build the second side over there, and then you have your mob spawner complete. Now to finish everything off, I'm back at the completed mob spawner over here, and you may notice that there's a little tunnel at the bottom over here I added, and that is just so that over here the light level is going to be 0. You can see that over here there's a little bit of light coming in, but it's 6, so it should be fine for the mobs to spawn on. Now adding this, you have to go down 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks from the initial mob spawner, and then you're good to go. But that is actually going to do it for this redstone tutorial. If you guys enjoyed it, I was just Alex for a second. If you enjoyed it, you can let me know by leaving a like down below. But anyways, this has been Tracking 25, and I'll see you guys in the next video.